Woo! I want to welcome you to the assisted living portion of the show. You know you're getting old when people tell you you look like John McCain. You know you're getting old when you know that sciatica is not a prison in upstate New York. You know you're getting old when you have to interrupt sex to go pee. I recently hired a life coach. She told me I probably won't start this year. I was reviewing my retirement plan the other night. I just realized I'm going to have to die 2 years earlier than I anticipated. My urologist told me I have an enlarged prostate. I said, of all the body parts down in that region to be enlarged, that wouldn't have been my first choice. I'm from an erectile dysfunctional family. I'm making a movie about my sex life. They're calling it the Short-Shank Reduction. These are just jokes, ladies. They're just jokes. So last night I was watching TV, and that ad comes on. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Yeah. They're in their late 20s, and they still live at home. I hate these parents always bragging about their kids. My son's a doctor. My son's a lawyer. Oh yeah, well my son's 28 years old and he loads the dishwasher all by himself. My son says he refuses to work for anyone else. So far he's been very successful. He asked me for career advice. I said, do what you love, do what you're good at. So I applied to Sleepy's. So I've been married for 35 years now. It is wonderful. I still remember the night that I proposed. She had me in the leg scissors. I tried to tap out, it was too late. Thank you. When we got married, my grandparents had been married for 52 years. So at my wedding reception, my grandfather pulled me aside and said, the first 52 years are the toughest. My grandmother overheard him and said, oh yeah? Wait till you see the next 52. Our wedding song was Color My World by Chicago. Now our song is, No, You're Never Gonna Get It. But I don't care, because I have my own song. Dancing with Myself. I noticed after we got married, my wife's attitude towards my jokes changed just a little bit, a very subtle change. It went from, you are so funny to, what are you, retarded? To keep the romance alive, my wife and I go for long walks to the beach. She goes on Tuesday, I go on Friday. So we're at the movies, and there's this one scene where this man's on a couch. He's about to get stabbed in the back. I'm on the edge of my seat. My heart is pounding a mile a minute. My wife leans over and says to me, wouldn't that couch look great in our living room? My wife and I have issues. She hates the word issues. She also hates the words cellulite, prima donna, high maintenance, and start raving lunatic. My wife asked me if I think she's high maintenance. I said, of course not, dear. The word maintenance means to preserve or keep something in its existing state. I would put you more in the renovation category. My wife's not here tonight. The other night, my wife asked me, does this dress make my ass look fat? I said, how about those Mets? My wife wants to get cosmetic surgery so she will look drop dead gorgeous. I said, over my dead body. She said, deal. My wife and I went into Manhattan for a weekend getaway. Before we left, I said, let's pretend we're not married. You know how to fake stuff, right? So the first night, she's lying in bed reading. I'm in taking a shower. I come out of the bathroom, I pop between the sheets naked, looking for some pootie tang. She says to me, I'm sorry, I cannot and will not cheat on my husband. Now, for those of you who don't know what pootie tang is, it's a health drink for black astronauts. Now, the second night, she was wearing tight panties that said East Hampton on them. East on the left cheek, Hampton on the right cheek. But I was more focused on her Santa Mauritius. My wife and I are experimenting with new positions. Her favorite is the one where she's in bed on her back, and I'm on the couch. My motto in bed used to be, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Now, it's if you see something, say something. My wife refuses to use a vibrator. She uses an electric toothbrush. She says it reminds her of me. I have no comment at this time. And even pumping gas reminds me of sex. I don't get the mileage I used to, and it's costing me a hell of a lot more. My wife likes it rough. So during sex, I yell out difficult math problems. Square root of 2 times pi. Harder. Square root of 3 divided by infinity. Harder. Then she looks over at the clock on the nightstand and says, time's up. Pencils down. Thank you very much. I'm very much.